Part 17 of the Build Your Own McLaren. First you take the rear outer upright left, it's identified with a letter L. Then you take the rear upright holder, and that's also got a L to identify it's the left hand holder. There's a slight raised hole here, and it's got a slight indent with a hole for the screw to go in, so we just locate it in that position there, and then we screw it together with a type E screw. This is the screw. Right, just make sure it's located. Tighten it up, but don't over tighten. We take the left inner upright, identified by the letter L. There is 2 holes and there's 2 locating lugs. So just put it there, so it's the hole right through on that section, so it only locates in one way. We're gonna put a little bit of adhesive on here, then we'll put it together and then set it aside to dry. We take the right outer, identified by the letter R. Then we take the upright holder. There's identification by letter R. There's a slight recess there with a screw hole, and we locate it in this position here. So that will go there, and then we'll screw that together with a type E screw. Right, tighten, don't over tighten. Next we take the inner, identified by the letter R, and is it the same as before? 2 locating holes, 2 lugs. This raised hole goes into the hole there. So we're going to put some adhesive in this section here. Then we'll put it together, and then we'll set it aside to dry, but it has gone off near enough straight away, so I'm going to just leave it for 20 minutes, half hour. Next I'm going to take the rear brake duct. You can see it's identified by a letter L, the letter L there, so it just goes in there's a lug here that goes into the hole there, and just make sure that it is the gap, it is flush there. And so we're gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the edges and glue it together, and put a little bit of insulation, a bit of masking tape, just to hold it together while it dries. And then we'll do exactly the same for the right hand side, identified by the letter R, and there's the right duct, exactly the same, locating hole. Just make sure that the edge is there, there's no gap. We'll glue it, bit of masking tape to hold it in place. That issue is now complete. We'll move on to issue 18. Next we take the rear low suspension arm left, identified by the letter L. Then we take the rear push rod, identified by the letter L. We then take a type B screw. So if you take the letter L over there, you just put the screw in from the bottom and keep the letter L facing downwards. and we'll put this on top, and then we screw in from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, before I start the thread, I'm just going to take a little bit of oil. I'm going to take the oil pen, just going to put a little bit of oil in the hole, so the cutting of the thread is a bit easier. So said letter L facing downwards. I just start it. Yeah, just take up this slack, but don't over tighten, so it still has a little bit of movement. Okay, so that is the left hand side done. We'll do the same for the right. So the right hand one, letter R, letter R. Bit of oil in the hole just to make the thread a bit easier to cut. Type B screw. Right is at the bottom, so the screw comes in from the bottom. Right down there facing downwards. Just put the screw in and then screw up. There we are. It's the right and left done. Next we take a type B screw. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on in the hole, so I can just cut the thread in this. So I'm just going to put the screw in, then take the screw back out. Alright, put the screw in until it starts to feel tight, then take it back out. And then we take the assembly that we did from a previous issue. It only go one way. There's a D shape here, or the other way looking at it, if you look at the letter L, is facing downwards, and you hold this at this orientation, then that will just fit into the hole there, and then we'll screw from the rear. Yeah, tighten it, so I can just start to feel tighten up now, not over tighten it. So that one is done, so I'm just going to do exactly the same for the right hand side. And we take the other upright, the right hand side with the letter R. That's got letter R with the R facing downwards. You've got notice this flat edge, like a D shape in the D shape hole. That will go into there, and then we'll screw from the rear. So you just locate it in, and then we'll put the screw that we just cut, or the thread that we just cut. Yeah. So that side is now done. On to issue 19. Take the left rear rotor holder, and here is the shaft. The shaft goes this way around, so basically it's got hex shape and the hex hole there. So it's a little bit tight. So if you just push it down on the mat, just locate it, push it in. That one's in, and we'll do the same for the right hand side. That one's a little bit looser. So that one needs going a bit more. There we are. It's fully, so it's flush. Take the left rear brake upright and the rotor holder. There is a V-shaped there and a V-shaped cutout here. So it will, if we just align those two, and the screw will screw into there. So it's only one screw in each. So if we so that's the left hand side, and we'll do exactly the same for the right. Right, don't over tighten. So we got those, and we keep this for a later stage. On to issue number 20. So we're just going to test fit this onto the hub. So that's fine, and we'll just test fit the other one. We're now going to set these parts aside until we need them, and the wheel spanner or the wheel wrench as well.